My feminine energy ladies, did you know that being on your period can help advance you in connecting with a man? Yes, if we allow it. Now, we often know that when we are in our menstruation phase, we feel the most bloated, the least attractive. We wear the least sexiest underwear. We feel less energized and overall just more lethargic. This is when our estrogen and progesterone levels are at their lowest. But we can use that to our advantage if we connect to the deep, vulnerable need for a man to do more for us at that time. So, as we all know, the narrative most commonly thrown around is women are so bitchy when they're on their periods, and why does she get so moody? And sometimes that is justifiable. But the problem with this narrative is that now we have brainwashed men into believing that every time woman is on her period, he is to be fearful of her and her attitude and her mood. Yet this does not have to be the truth if we can still carry a bit of emotional intelligence, even whilst being that vulnerable and needy. Let me give you an example of how you would communicate with your man if you're not feeling your best self and feeling kind of ugly. You can say something like, "Babe, I started my period today and I'm just not feeling my best. I was supposed to clean the house today, but would you mind cleaning up for me?" Do you see how I just added feeling into what I said rather than coming across as aggressively bitchy? This is going to go way further for you in training your man if he has perpetually been dealt with a woman's erratic and unintelligent mood swings. Because don't come for me. We get crazy and irrational, especially when it comes to our men who don't even deserve it most of the time. Or if you physically want him to be closer in comforting and nurturing you during that time, you can say, "I know I'm being very clingy, but I'm on my period and I love it when you're close to me." Again, sprinkling in that closeness and emotional and physical need for him during that time. Trust me, if you master this, he will not see your period as a time of, "Oh God, a headache, stress, not her period again." Because that is unfortunately the real tea of what is actually happening, and men are not deserving of that. It is truly a toxic mentality that your period is to be feared. Whether you have a man or not, your period is a time of sacredness. Your period is a time to honor your body. It is not normal to have debilitating periods. It is not normal to have erratic mood swings. It is not normal to be aggressive to your man and push him further away. It is common, not normal. So if you are truly dealing with the integrity of your period and experiencing debilitating cramps, then you need to do a better check into your hormones. Everything comes down to your hormones, and your health dictates how you will show up during your menstruation phase. Don't drag men into this. Health is our responsibility, and they can be there for us to do more for us during that very weak time, but it doesn't become man's headache to deal with. I've changed men's perspective on the woman's cycle and her mood swings and her hormonal shifts just by simply getting my own cycle in check. And here's an interesting study related to the female cycle. Women are actually perceived more attractive during their ovulation phase rather than their menstruation phase. Yep, the lady dancers at a gentleman's club actually made more money during their most fertile window during ovulation phase. And guess what? Probably no shock to you, women who were on birth control pills didn't see much difference in how much money they made. It's because men can subconsciously pick up when a woman is most fertile and they are more attracted to her at that time. And when us women are ovulating, we tend to walk different, a bit slower, more sensual, and even sexier, which is attractive to men. We also have a higher pitched voice approaching ovulation, which is polar to men's very strong, masculine, deep tone of voice. The higher pitched tones is received as more feminine and seductive. Another reason why females are considered more desirable during their ovulation phase is because of redness. Ovulating women have slightly redder cheeks than menstruating women. Isn't it amazing that males can pick up on this? At peak fertility, the chances of her wearing red or pink is 3 times higher than in her non-fertile phase. And the color red is highly attractive to the male brain. And there's something called the red dress effect, where her wearing the color red signals to males that she is more open to sexual and romantic advances. When baboons become fertile, their estrogen levels peak, opening up their blood vessels and turning their face bright red. That complexion signals to the male baboons that it's time for them to make their move. And the same could be said for humans.